We have the opportunity to be out in front of business owners and with business owners a lot, both in our speaking and our coaching and that sort of thing. And one of the things that we hear over and over and over again is the sense that people just don't want to work, or that they're not willing to do the things that we need them to do, or it's just easier if I do it myself, right? Well, the reality is a lack of clarity leads to confusion. So, at least from an owner's perspective, we can do our part in bringing the clarity. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with Business on Purpose. It's time to be liberated from chaos to make time for what matters most. Make sure also to check out the Dickie and Donnie podcast on the Business on Purpose channel here. You can look at that. So let's explore the concept of creating clarity to combat chaos in your business. See, when you try to do everything yourself, confusion usually follows, and that confusion is where chaos thrives. Imagine it's sort of a breeding ground for chaos. You might find yourself at the end of a workday wondering, where did all the time go? And you felt like you've accomplished very little. Instead of trying to handle everything on your own, we need to consider delegating, training, empowering other people. This way enhances understanding and starts to free up your time for the things that really do matter. But how do you begin to establish a chaos-free business environment that sets the ground, the soil, so that clarity can thrive instead of chaos thriving? Well, first up, there's a few that we can talk about, but one is the process that has its roots in ancient wisdom. There were a few thousand years ago, it was written this way: write the vision down so that those who read it may run. And it goes on to say, wait for its appointed time, for it surely will come. See, if you believe in the power of a clear vision, which you really should, because vision has been around for centuries and millennia, and if that vision can bring order, then you can start to outline some categories. So I want you to think of vision in this way. First is time duration. So define how far into the future your vision actually extends. A good starting point is typically around 36 months or 3 years, somewhere around there. Number two is I want you to think about vision as it relates to your family and your personal freedom. Well, Scott, I thought this was a business vision. It is. But a business vision disconnected from your personal life, it's not a vision at all because it's segmented at that point. Now you have multiple visions, right? So family and personal freedom, you need to describe what you want for your family and yourself by the end of that time frame you talked about at the beginning. So be specific about your ideal lifestyle, generosity initiatives, travel plans, how you envision spending your time, all those sorts of things. Then number three is you can define your perfect week with an ideal weekly schedule. Now, of course, your week's not going to be perfect. We live in a broken world, but at least we can design it as that way. As Annie Dillard aptly put it, a schedule defends from chaos and whim. It's a net for catching days. It's a scaffolding on which a worker can stand and labor with both hands at different sections of a time. A schedule, she goes on, is a mock-up of reason and ordered, and this is my favorite part. It's willed and it's faked and so brought into being. So we can go ahead and outline what would we want our week to look like if we were in charge. Number four is to articulate in your vision financial goals. Begin by outlining those financial goals, starting with the profit that you need to extract from the business in order to fund the family and the freedom objectives that you already wrote down in that timeline. So this top-down analysis helps you focus on the end result first. And then from there, you can start to work backward to determine the revenue required to achieve that profit goal that you have. Number five in our 8 sections is the products and services that you need to offer to generate the revenue to fund the family and freedom time that you have in that amount of time. So you see how these build on each other. So in the products and services section, you need to ask, what do those need to look like to generate the revenue that will lead to your desired profit or margin? This step involves analyzing your current offerings and potentially identifying some new opportunities or improvements. We as a business are doing that right now, actually. You may need to add some things or prune some things off your current offering. Number 6 in your vision articulation is to look at the team that's going to deliver the service or product that's going to generate the revenue, et cetera, et cetera. And so the team with your product or service defined, think about the team you're going to need to deliver it effectively. It might involve assessing your current team's strengths and weaknesses, or identifying skill gaps, or planning for future hires or training. The 7th category is articulating your ideal and non-ideal client. See, your team will have a desire to serve certain customers and avoid others. We can all think of that person, right? So we've got to make time to articulate those that your business best serves, and also for those who your business really doesn't serve very well. And finally, the category is the company culture, the business culture. Now, culture is a word that we in business ripped off from science. It's actually a biology term. So consider the culture, this thing you want to grow, whatever ingredients you put in, that's what grows out. Consider that culture you want to foster in the business. Imagine overhearing a client talking about your company at a nearby restaurant table. What would you want them to say if they were talking behind your back? So write down those phrases, as they can start to serve as guiding principles for your company culture. When you articulate your vision, literally write it down across those 8 categories, you start to create a roadmap for your business and your personal growth. And that transparency, even vulnerability, helps dispel confusion and provides a strong foundation for building a more organized and efficient business environment. There's another well-known proverb, and it reminds all of us as leaders: where there is no vision, people scatter. There's actually different versions of it. We can also assume that where there is a clarity of vision, people will start to attract. Hey, don't forget this. When we talk about clarity, I actually just wrote this out before hitting record. A lack of clarity brings confusion, but a lack of effort neutralizes the clarity. Boy, I'll let you sit on that one. We may do a future episode about that as well. Hey, make sure to go to mybusinessonpurpose.com. Got a variety of resources there. You can take the Healthy Owner Assessment. Take about 5 minutes to understand how healthy the back end of your business is. Go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/healthy.